Well, hello, we are live. It is Saturday, the 24th of June, and hey, I got someone by my side again.
Good morning, everyone. It is great to be home.
Yes.
It was great to be on the inaugural sailing for Carnival Venezia, but it is also good to be home. Some of you may have seen via a short that I posted last week that unfortunately I tested positive for COVID when I got home from the Venezia, as did multiple folks, it sounds like, from the Facebook group. But we are both on the mend.
Yeah, I wasn't even on the cruise and I got COVID.
Sorry, Rocky. Sorry. But we are back and we are so excited to talk to you today about the ship, answer questions you have. We're going to address some of the feedback. There has been a lot of constructive, we'll say constructive feedback about the ship. Really, honestly, some really tough and negative feedback about the ship. We're going to address that. We're going to talk about that today, and we're going to actually talk about how to avoid some of those issues yourself.
Yeah.
If you are sailing on the Venezia, let us know. Drop us comments. Of course, we'll have the comments going the whole time. If you have questions about the ship, go ahead. We're going to share some things about the ship. As you can see, I'm in. Can I adjust this a little bit? I don't want to adjust it down too far. As you can see, I am in this lovely inaugural. There we go. This inaugural season swag. So really, they've got some. Oh, what?
It's got the American and Italian flag on it.
Yeah. And then what does it say on the back? You'll have to take
fun,
our word.
Italian style.
You'll have to take our word for that, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's knock those off. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. We've got a carnival display back here. It's all in time for Carnival Venezia, July 5th till the 13th. You are going to have such an amazing time. Seriously. Yes. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. Let us know what we can answer.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I just want to give a little bit of background. I promise 30 seconds max for those who have joined this journey. Thank you. Thank you, Brandy. Yes, it is good to be over the sickness. Oh my goodness. It's been a rough week.
It has.
Week and a half.
Yep.
So we got to sail Venezia's inaugural sailing from Barcelona. So we flew to Barcelona. That was a whole thing. But we made it and we were safe and sound. And we got to sail for 15 days on this magnificent set.
You did.
Oh, traveling August. I'm so excited.
Finish your story. I'll bring up those comments.
I love every time I see a comment about someone being on the ship. I get so excited for you because truly 15 days on this ship was not enough time.
Right.
I wanted to hide in the closet. I wanted to stay. I'm jealous for some friends that we made on board that were staying for the next sailing.
Ooh.
It's not your standard Carnival ship. I'm telling you that right now. I'll tell you that right now. It is not your standard Carnival ship. It is beautiful. I felt like I was on. So Carnival adopted this ship, welcomed this ship to the fleet from their sister brand, Costa.
Yep.
So Carnival Corporation has a whole bunch of brands.
They've got Costa, they have Princess, they have Seabourn, they have Holland America, AIDA,
Carnival Cruise Line,
P&O.
Carnival Cruise Lines, Costa. So they adopted the Venezia from Costa. So it was the Costa Venezia. It became the Carnival Venezia.
Right.
Of course, they added in the fun Italian style.
Yes,
they added in the fun. So it definitely, you're on a Carnival sailing, but it is not your standard Carnival ship.
Well, I'm sure having a familiar face as the cruise director, such as Mark Q, probably made it all that more like you felt like you were at home. We've sailed with Mark Q before. He's an awesome cruise director. If you ever have the opportunity to sail with Mark Q, he's phenomenal. He does a great job. And it was awesome. You had a great time with him.
You've got Mark Q, you've got the Fun Squad, you've got the Trivias, you've got all of the events. You don't have Red Frog.
Right.
You don't have
Blue Iguana.
You don't have Blue Iguana, but you do have Blue Iguana. Y'all, I'll tell you right now, if you love Blue Iguana, if you love those breakfast burritos or huevos rancheros or the tacos or the burritos, here's my tip. Know what you like at Blue Iguana because they don't have the Blue Iguana menu. Mm-hmm. So you know how the Blue Iguana has a menu where it tells you all of the ingredients? They don't have it. You just have to know what you would normally order from Blue Iguana.
They don't have a menu board up?
No. They do have a menu board that just says burritos here. So
maybe they were still working on the signage for that.
So good news is they've got the same black Blue Iguana bowls that hold the beans and the rice and the chicken. And they have all of the same Blue Iguana fixings, all of the same bowls. In fact, one of the days we got our meal served on the Blue blue iguana wrapper,
Yes, you did.
which
I
was
remember seeing
amazing.
that.
Okay, while you go through the comments, I've got to
Yeah.
take this thing off because here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Venezia is sailing from New York.
Right.
What do we know about New York?
It's probably a little bit chillier.
It's chilly. This is a winter inaugural coat.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It is fully. Oh, look at that, Venezia.
Hey.
It is a fully lined coat, and so I'm sitting in the
Wow.
house in Phoenix.
Yeah, we're
in
supposed
summer.
it's supposed to be like 103 today.
And so
here.
I'm going to take this off. I
Yeah.
apologize if it's noisy for those on the line.
Yeah.
But go ahead and pull up some comments.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a comment that came in from Josefina Lavia. She's going to be on in September out of New York. She wants to know how the food is.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we could
We have a couple of shorts that we actually put out. We're doing an entire social media takeover similar to what we did when we did the Carnival celebration. And we've already put out a couple of videos that talk about the dining. But yeah, go ahead and answer that question for her.
Josefina, we could be friends because that was the first question that I asked on board.
Yes.
How is the food going to be? Because we love cruising. We fell in love with cruising partly because of the food.
Yes.
We don't miss too many meals. And the food on board, what I will say is Tomodoro Mex Italian, aka Blue Iguana.
Yeah.
They've added several new options to Tomodoro, which made me super excited. I love Carnival food, but I also love getting to try some new things. So Tomodoro, the Blue Iguana, the huevos, as I mentioned, all of that was absolutely delicious. I don't think I missed a day at Tomodoro. I don't think I missed a day at Tomodoro either between breakfast or lunch. Yeah, just popping over and grabbing an arepa or popping over and grabbing a huevos or like it's so good. I love Blue Iguana though too. So if you like Mexican food like me, you're gonna love Tomodoro. And then the new wraps and the new tortas.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, there's just new stuff at Tomodoro. So we got to try stuff every single day.
That's cool.
Guys Burger, your standard guys. Not your standard Guys Burger. You're pretty much standard Guys Burger. It's rebranded, but it does have several new burgers. Please. When you are on the ship, I highly recommend trying the pepperoni pizza burger with that big mozzarella patty that they put on it. It's essentially a fried cheese curd on the burger. Yeah, here's the new. So Rocky just pulled up. Thank you. The concept art from. I'll tell you, the concept art and the pictures that I've posted are identical.
We're going to do a side-by-side video. Don't you worry.
They did a really nice job with the concept art to translating it into what it actually looks like. But the pepperoni pizza burger, highly recommend trying that. The new super mootzy mozz burger. It's supposed to have mozzarella. It's supposed to have tomatoes. It's supposed to have balsamic.
Yeah.
It was just bland, honestly.
Well, if I remember correctly from the video review that we posted, the first time that you tried it, you didn't have the mozzarella.
The pepperoni pizza burger. Yeah, the pepperoni pizza burger.
Okay.
So here's what I would say about Guys Burger, and this has been my experience for the past several years, is you're never quite sure what you're going to get. The standard burgers, when you get the ringer, you are going to get the ringer true and true. When you get the SMC, the plain Jane, you're going to get the plain Jane through and through. These new burgers, and I truly do believe because they're going to serve these burgers every single day, they're going to get into the hang. They're going to get into the hang of it. Yeah. But the first couple of times we went to Guys Burger, we didn't necessarily get, I think, the full representation. So we went back, of course. Yeah. The pizza,
you had time to.
The pizza is good. The food that we ate on board, we loved. We didn't get a chance to do bonsai sushi this time. We usually love bonsai sushi.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to do it just because there was so much other stuff going on the ship.
Right.
The main dining room.
Yeah.
And this is the number one thing people have complained about is the dining room and the dining service. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen the reviews, I've seen the videos, I've seen the TikToks, I've seen the pictures. People have really disliked the dining room on board this ship. And what I'll tell you they dislike the check-in. So for anytime dining or for brunch or for breakfast, when you check in on the app, the app tells you it's a 10-minute wait. It's actually like a 40-minute wait. And so here's my advice. If you're going to check in and it says a 10-minute wait, know that it's probably going to be like a 40. It might be 10 minutes. It might. There was one day that it was 10 minutes, but it might be a longer wait. I personally, people are getting like absolutely torn up about it. It said it was 10 minutes, but it took 40 minutes. So here's what I would say to you. I get it. It's frustrating when it says one thing and it's not. Go in knowing that likely the wait time is going to be longer.
Right.
And the reason the wait time is longer is really the second thing that people really have torn this ship apart about.
Okay.
And that is the time in the anytime dining, the time to order and the time to get your food and the time to fix the food order, because it's never right. Never once, when we were as part of anytime dining, never once did we have the correct order. Never once. And so we were anytime dining for the first 5 days on Carnival Venezia. We actually, 4 days, 4 nights, we went to the maitre d' and we asked them to reseat us to assigned dining. We just posted a tip yesterday on YouTube. That is our biggest tip and piece of advice for this ship, is at least for the foreseeable future. I truly believe they're going to get it right. The crew is going to get it right. They're going to figure it out. They're going to get into a routine. But that aft dining room where they do anytime dining, the check-in experience is rough and the food service is rough. And part of it is because Carnival has launched, and I've got an image, I know I put it in the deck, the new handheld devices. For anytime dining and brunch, they've rolled out a new process. You know, for anyone who's sailed on Carnival before, you know, those trusty pads of paper where they quickly scribble everything down when you order the 6 appetizers, the 2 entrees, and the 2 desserts. These, anytime, and I don't, you know us, we're not negative, we're very positive people, but anytime I saw one of these devices in a server's hand, I knew my order was going to be wrong.
Wow.
I knew it. The moment I saw one of these devices, I knew the order was going to be wrong. It was either going to come out at the wrong time. Most often we didn't get the right order. So when we went to Il Viaggio the first night, now first night jitters, of course. First night we got the mains before we got the appetizers. And we were like, well, that's a weird experience. Mm-hmm. And then we went to the main dining room where we had anytime dining, and those devices, we missed meals. Every single time the salad dressing came out wrong, they brought out, like, one night, instead of blue cheese dressing, they brought, what do you dip fish and chips in? They brought out tartar sauce. I put tartar sauce on my salad, and I was like, no, we're good with this. And so here's my biggest tip and piece of advice. If you are booked in the foreseeable future, make sure that you're looking at or trying to get into assigned dining. Now, the great news is there's a ton of seating in these restaurants. I mean, and the restaurants are beautiful. I know I've got the gondola, or I've got the aft restaurant. Can you pull that up?
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about? There's a gondola on board. People are like, well, wait a minute, but the anytime dining has that beautiful gondola in it. Yes, you would have to give up there you go. You'd have to give up the gondola. So this is, I mean, it's beautiful.
But would they? Because you can still go into that dining room for sea day brunch and the breakfast that they have on port days. So you still can enjoy and experience this dining room. It's just maybe avoid it for dinner.
And here's the other piece of advice is, and you can see it in this picture. Leave this picture up for just a minute, so you can see it in this picture. Really, the only table, and it's the best table in the house. See that 2 table right there, that 2 top right there on the right-hand side? That is by far the best table in the entire house. If you could request that table, I would pay extra for that table. It is such a cool table because it literally, you feel like you're in Venice. You feel like you're on the water. It is super neat. And then obviously the gondola view, the tables around the gondola are really cool tables, but the vast majority of tables in this restaurant are inside. On the outside, on the kind of the inside area. So you don't actually get the gondola view. Gotcha. So go in on embarkation day when no one is in the dining room. Get your pictures, get your selfies. You can actually, can you bring it back to us? Because I gotta tell you a tip. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but on our embark, we could actually get into the gondola and take pictures. I haven't
seen that picture. Where is that?
I don't know that that's going to last personally, y'all. I think they're going to block that off quick because walking out there and people are going to be drunk and it's going to be a whole thing. So overall, when we moved to the dining room, and I apologize, this has been a long answer to the question. Sorry, Josephina, but I hope this is helpful. Yes. When we moved to the main dining room, not once did Elder, Francisco, and Gwenny, not once did they get our order wrong. In fact, they knew us so well, they would bring us the soups each night before we even ordered the food because they knew how much we love Carnival soups. Francisco brought 2 lemonades out one night, and they both had ice in them. Well, Jason, my travel mate, he doesn't like ice in his beverages. Elder saw it. Literally within 2-3 minutes, walked over to the table, grabbed Jason's glass, dumped it out, filled it up with lemonade without ice, and set it down. if you are on the Carnival Venezia and you can request Elder,
Oh my
which you
gosh.
can, by the way, you can
Yes.
if you know a server, you can
Maitre d'.
actually talk to the maitre d and say, I'd like to be in Elder section. I would highly recommend it. I don't know that he knew a lot of the things that we were saying to him, but he was one of the best servers we have had in the last several years. I mean, just amazing.
And that's one of the things that we love about going on cruises and assigned dining. When you get that assigned dining and you get that same crew, the same wait staff taking care of you for every dinner, you have such a great experience. And I'm so excited for that coming up here on the Panorama.
Right, we've got assigned dining.
Yeah.
We like anytime dining. We absolutely do. And in fact, we recommend anytime dining on Carnival, on Mardi Gras,
celebration.
on Carnival Celebration, because when you have anytime dining on those two ships, you can check in
to other
restaurants at any time.
Yeah.
So you can check in for Shebang,
right.
or for Kachina,
Right.
or
Guys.
for Guy's Pig Anchor Smokehouse Brewhouse.
Right.
Like, you can check in at any time. We actually don't eat in the main dining room on those ships because there's so many other places to eat.
Right.
Finally, I will say the buffet, the midnight buffet, the Asian spot. So they've got a secret Asian spot over at Seafood Check.
Yeah.
Our sailing had a midnight buffet. Check your fun times. Not every sailing has midnight buffets. Some of them do it every day, like ours did.
And usually it's going to be on Journeys sailings, which are 9 nights or more.
Oftentimes it's on Journey sailings, but we've seen it. We've seen it where they've incorporated it into, once or twice during the week long. So check your fun times. But the midnight buffet, it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was midnight. We'd had some drinks, and so I'll tell you, those ham sandwiches at midnight are really good. I had the deli one day. The deli is always good. I don't think we've published it yet, but there's a shortcoming around a cruise hack with the deli.
Yep.
Some really cool ideas to make your deli experience even better. But the food was great. The Asian food was a 30-minute wait in line. I will tell you that
once the word got out.
Oh my gosh, do you know how many people gave me crap on that ship?
Really?
Why did you post something about there being Asian food on board? Now look at how many people know about this.
Way to go.
4 people saw that video. So I don't really think it was me. I think the word got out. That was one of the tips that I shared in the food video.
Yeah.
Look around, see what other people are eating, and don't be shy. Ask them, hey, where'd you get that from? The buffet was buffet food. Again, I did an eggs Benedict one day from the buffet. Eggs Benedict, is that right? Yeah.
The poached egg?
Yeah, poached egg. It ain't a poached egg. It was like your typical Carnival cruise. That eggs Benedict had been in that warmer for a while. That egg was well done. It was fine. It was. I mean, I'm not a huge. How often do we eat at the buffet?
Yeah, we really don't. Maybe breakfast.
Maybe breakfast. We don't really eat at the buffet. We did several times this cruise, so I could share with you.
Yeah.
It was fine. They do have the old buffet queue styles. The newer ships, they have the pods where you can serve on 3 sides, which I love. Yeah. They have the older buffet queue, so there was a queue sometimes for the buffet. And again, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But I chose to eat everywhere else around the ship.
Right.
And the main dining room.
Yeah.
The one other thing that I've seen in reviews that I will just give you a tip on, there's, again, brand new ship, still learning. Keep your salt and pepper at the table, because some of the things we actually had to season ourselves.
Oh.
Here's something that I'm interested in, and I want to get your thoughts. I want to get all your thoughts.
Yep.
Is Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Lines, who we got to meet multiple times. We do, but we'll share that.
Okay.
Christine Duffy shared at the ribbon cutting. She said, Emeril Lagasse is on board right now, taste testing, doing the final taste tests of all of the food in the galley.
Wow.
I'll tell you right now, if Emeril taste tested that stuff and approved it, I'm a little worried about the bam. I mean, there was no bam. There were we added salt and pepper to a lot of the dishes because it was missing his bam. So anyway, all of the food was good, with a couple of minor exceptions, but I think you're in for a treat.
Good.
That was a long answer.
That was a very long answer, Josephina. Thank you so much for that question.
Josephina.
And I hope he answered it well enough for you. Moving right along, we do have several comments that we want to come back to. So little lady, hello. Thank you so much for joining. You and your son are going to be traveling on the 31st of August through the 8th of September. You're going to have such a great time.
Please send us some pictures. Please send us some pictures.
Yeah, we want to see that for sure. Beverly Tate, thank you for the kind comments. We are feeling better. we were a little concerned. We have a cruise coming up. We sail away 1 week from today on the Carnival Panorama. Hey, maybe we should do a live from the Panorama that day. What do you think?
That would be fun.
That would be okay. We'll consider that. We'll get that scheduled. And
wait. We're
what?
sailing for Rocky's birthday.
Oh,
Rocky's birthday cruise on the Carnival Panorama. What? It's the first T-shirt we've ever made. Again, for us, we made it for us and for our friends. But we look at this little follow us, and there's our logo. And you can, on all of the channels, you can follow us. I know we're nerds, we're cruise nerds, but how fun is this? So yes, in a week's time, we will be on. Actually, a week from now.
Yeah.
A week from right now, we'll be in the terminal.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay. Okay.
We're not excited.
Back to Venezia.
Oh. Awesome. Let's see here. YouTube user. Not sure what your name is.
Hey,
there.
YouTube user.
Yeah. Your husband and you are going to be going on the 3-day sailing.
St. John's.
St. John's.
There's a 3-day. That's cool.
That is cool. Oh, St. John's, Canada. Okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, that's
okay.
cool.
St.
That's
John's,
a cool
Canada.
itinerary. How fun is that?
I was thinking St. Thomas.
I know. I was thinking the Caribbean. I'm like,
yeah.
how are you going to get the Venezia from New York all the way to the depths of the Caribbean?
That's amazing. Guess who has 148 days coming until they're sailing?
I saw it. It's going to be Tom. Hey, Tom. How's it going?
148 days. Oh my gosh. It's going to be amazing. We also, so for anyone that is sailing on Venezia, if you're comfortable with it, send us a couple of pictures. We would love to see it. All of our contact information is on the website. So please, we would literally love, or send us your socials. We'll follow along on your journey as well. We get kind of excited about this stuff. So we'd love to see those.
I was going to say, send us an Instagram message.
There you go.
Or
There's all sorts of
us,
places.
tweet us even. And maybe, who knows, we'll feature your photo in our feeds.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, because Beverly's going to July 5th.
Yep.
Just after the 4th. She'll be cleaning up Beverly, you're going to be cleaning up all of the remnants of the firecrackers. Just kidding. There are no firecrackers. Remember, the biggest concern on a cruise ship is fire. So no fireworks, no firecrackers.
Although Disney has fireworks.
Every now and then.
Okay. Hey, Eli, thanks for joining in. Appreciate
Eli,
you stopping by and letting us know that you're here. Let's see. We've got Shakayla Jackson, it looks like. Oh, Shakaya, excuse me. Are there any white parties?
There are a variety of
themed
parties. There are a variety of themed parties on board. So there's the 80s rock and glow. There is a white party. That was the very first night, second night. A white party, 80s rock and glow party, mega deck party. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot to tell you all this. This is key. Please. If you're going to be on the Venezia, where am I? I gotta grab mine. I'll be right there. I'll be right back. Tell them about the captain's toast.
There's one on the kitchen table.
Tell them about the captain's toast.
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to tell everyone about it because I wasn't there. However, if you are on the sailing on the Venezia, usually on the first formal night of the cruise, they will have a captain's toast where the captain will come out and do the meet and greet, and they'll kind of welcome everyone on board. And it's this whole gala event. Everyone is dressed to the nines, and they have their masquerades, their masks out for the sailing experience. So yes, Mark did have a couple of masks that he brought on board. Ooh, I wonder if I still have that picture.
Okay, y'all. These are like $6 on Amazon. That is a big tip that I have for you. So yes, there are a bunch of themed parties on board, and you can actually look at John Hield's page on Facebook. Oh, there's me and Christine Duffy.
Yeah,
literally, Christine Duffy was walking around with this gorgeous Venetian mask. Oh, look at how pretty she is. Ugh. She was. I'll tell you all about her in a minute, but she was great. I highly recommend. I'm so glad you asked the question, because that is something that I recommend. Is go out to your local party store, go out to Amazon. They are inexpensive. You can also buy them on the ship if you forget to buy yours. They're going to be more expensive on the ship.
Just had a thought.
Just FYI.
Why don't we add a couple of really nice masks to our Amazon account?
That's true. We could. And and we can suggest some masks. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So you can buy them on board as well. They're more expensive on board, just like sunscreen. Sunscreen is $22.99 now on board. So if you forget your sunscreen, it's going to be $22.99 on board. The masks also are a bit more on board than they are on Amazon. So I highly recommend. And truly, participate. I really do recommend going to the captain's toast, even if you're not like big into the captain toasting, go to the captain's toast, because to be in that atrium and to see everyone dressed to the nines and everyone in their Venetian masks and Venetians, it was just such a cool experience. Such a cool experience.
That's awesome. We have someone that said they don't know if you remember them. It's Dominic. They met you on the Venezia sailing. They're actually going back on it again September 8th.
Thank you, Dominic. It was great. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for the conversations. Thank you for following along and joining in today. I don't know if you're still on, but if you are, it was great to meet you. We got to meet so many just amazing human beings. Cool. Can you pull up the one of the pictures of us meeting with like Marquis and
I know this is. I think this is one of them.
It's the one before it, I think, or the one after it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This one?
We got to meet so many amazing people. So one of the things that I got to just do a shout out to the Campbells in the upper right-hand corner. The entire family has welcomed Jason and I in. Jason had gone back up to the room, so he's not in this photo. But the entire family just welcomed us in. Thank you so much for making us feel so special. We did bocce ball together. We actually met at the Rock of Gibraltar, waiting to go up the tram together. And then we saw each other throughout Gibraltar. Then we saw each other. You know how it is. You know how it is on a cruise. You literally, once you meet someone, you see them everywhere. So thank you. And Cooper, if you're watching, I know you're Team Jason. We got that. Totally. Shout out. But we had so much fun playing bocce ball on board. That's cool. So that's not what the answer to the question was. Sorry. The question was
no, it wasn't really a question. It was just Dominic celebrating that he got to meet you and spend time with you, and
so many amazing people on board. This is why Rocky's so amazing. He's like, oh, Mark, here, go back here. We got to meet so many amazing people on board, and I love it. Oh, what happened? What happened?
Cooper responded. He is watching. He is Team D. Jason.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Cooper, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. And he is Team Jason. That awesome. Totally is amazing.
All right. Little lady has a question. Wondering if there are any quiet little nooks and crannies anywhere that her son, he's on the autism spectrum, and wants to know if there's any good quiet places to go.
First and foremost, I want to celebrate and recognize Carnival Venezia. It is an autism recognized ship.
Oh, that's great.
And
Culture City,
they've partnered with Culture City to bring in additional awareness and training for the crew, as well as things you can pick up at guest services. So it gives me gives me goosebumps. I'm super proud of the work. And today, actually, little lady, we're going to be posting a short of all of the various hidden spaces on board, because there are a bunch. And so y'all are watching this, so you're going to get the early preview. Yes. But there are secret decks on this ship. So
we have a video about the secret decks already out.
One of our favorite spaces on Carnival ships are those secret decks at the very front of the ship. So on deck 6 and 7, you'll go down the passenger hallways, port side or starboard, and you'll come to a door with a porthole window on it. Go through on 7 though, because on 6, it's one of those water type doors with the big lever that you have to pull. Like, here's my tip for those watching this. Don't go out on deck 6, go up on deck 7, and there's stairs down to deck 6. And what's beautiful about this ship from Costa, there's steps down to deck 5 as well. Deck 5 is a wraparound deck that goes around the entirety of the ship. Super cool. So you've got those forward decks 5, 6, and 7 that no one knows about.
We're spreading the word.
That's what. Oh shoot. Okay, us and you on this live and watching this live. Those are some of our favorite spaces to watch sail away. Those are our favorite spaces to go out and watch the stars at night. Those are our favorite spaces to just get away from the crowds. The cool thing about this ship, though, is there's 2 more on 9 and 10. So there are 2 more of those secret spaces. So if someone does discover deck 7 because they watched a short or something, go up to deck 9 or 10.
Above the bridge.
Above the bridge, there's 2 more decks. There is another open deck on deck 11, but there is a sign on that door that says crew only. So that is our one ask, is that the crew have very few places where they can have break areas. Please do respect where they have those crew only spaces. We saw a couple of comments of people like, well, I'll go out there too because it was empty. There, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other forward decks to choose from, plus upper decks. Do those. The other thing on our sailing, and this is going to vary, but deck 5 aft, So the Carnivale Lounge and the Carnivale area, that's an exclusive area during the day, but at night, anyone can go down there. But a lot of people don't realize that. And so deck 5 aft in the afternoon, in the evenings, early evenings and evenings was quiet. You have to walk through, if you walk through the bar area, there's a band, but if you actually walk through the side, the hallways on the side where the staterooms are, you can actually avoid all of that chaos and noise, and you can make your way out to the back of the ship. And so there are absolutely, finally, I will say there's the locker rooms. The locker rooms, both women's and men's, a woman confirmed this for me. Just FYI, women's and men's have a sauna and have a little whirlpool. Those spaces are always so quiet. Yeah, very quiet. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So yes, little lady, lots of spaces.
Hey, Vinny in Las Vegas. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. I know.
Oh, okay. Hi, Vinny.
It's okay. Dominic had another comment. Don't forget that they also have those little mini Italian heroes.
Oh my gosh, I love those things. Oh my gosh, on the midnight buffet.
Oh, okay. Is that where they were?
They also have a meatball thing at Tomodoro.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah. Okay. Josephina, we finally got back to your comment. Can't wait.
Josephina, you are in for a trip, honestly. Yes. So much fun.
Here is the big burning question. I know that Tom asked this question as well, and that was about the gelato.
The gelato was an upcharge, and we never in the 15 days, believe it or not, we never got a chance we tried it in the main dining room because they had gelato one night, and we tried it, and
it's gelato, right?
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret.
Oh boy.
Again, you know us, we're very positive people. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was not like something that I'm going to write back home about and say, got to get the gelato. I would try it because you're on an Italian style ship. But what shocked me the most, and shocked Jason as well, it wasn't just me. It shocked me the most how bad the pasta was.
Oh no.
I hate to say it.
Dominic, can you confirm this?
It was so gummy. It was so chewy. It was, again, when pasta sits under a warmer or it sits, like it becomes overdone, overcooked. Yeah. There were several pastas that just tasted like water.
Oh, no.
I mean, no flavor or seasoning at all. Yeah. And so every night we ordered the pasta because we were on an fun Italian style ship. And so I was like, we got to get the pasta.
But what about in Il Viaggio? Oh, no.
Il Viaggio was much better. It was al dente. It was a much better pasta in Il Viaggio. Mine, unfortunately, I would not order my dish again. We did a video about that as well. Oh, can you pull up Il Viaggio? There's a picture of Il Viaggio as well. Yeah. We did Il Viaggio the very first night. The pasta was great. Jason had the Giovese. If you go to Il Viaggio, if you pay the upcharge to go to Il Viaggio, $42 a person, get the, what did I just call it? The Giovese. It was. We did a review. Is it worth it? I'm so glad we did it. I'm absolutely so glad we did it. I would do it again in a heartbeat if I were on an inaugural sailing and I was recording a YouTube video.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it looks like Tom actually skipping ahead. We'll come back to the other comments. He actually said, "Have now that you've had time to reflect, are you still?"
I'm so glad that I did it. I'm super glad I did it. What I will tell you is it was on par to me with Cucina del Capitano. So Cucina del Capitano is the Italian place on all of the other Carnival ships. Yeah. It's an $18 upcharge. To go from $18 to $42 and to have a very similar experience, I try it. If you've got onboard credit to spend, if you've got like money burning a hole in your pocket, right? Sponsor us, right? Kidding. If you were like, yes, I want to try it. I want to try the experience. I really like unique things that only a handful of people get to do because I'll tell you, it was not busy the entire sailing. Wow. Well, we were on it for 15 nights. So the people that wanted to try it had many options. Yeah. It was not busy there. So if you want to do something that's super exclusive and it gets you away from all the other stuff, absolutely. Get the Giovese, the main. It was amazing. Yeah. We heard really good feedback on the Campbells. They went for their 25th anniversary, wedding anniversary. Lovely. Happy 25th anniversary. And they got the pizza for two. They enjoyed it.
Okay.
Again, they didn't say like it was like the most amazing food ever. Yeah. So versus when we go to Bonsai Sushi and we have the ship for two,
that's so
for $28 for $28 for two of us, like
love it.
Love it. And we sing its praises. We post videos. We we tell everyone go to Bonsai Sushi. Yeah. We didn't have that same experience. Again, I don't regret it. Yeah. We left full. Yeah. We had a ton of food. It just wasn't my favorite.
All right.
Thank you for asking the question.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Eli, you've only done Royal Caribbean cruises, but you're excited to try Carnival. Hey, Eli, if you need help booking, let me know. I am a travel advisor, and I'm actually certified. I'm proud to say I am certified with Carnival and Virgin Voyages, and I'm working on my Royal Caribbean right now. But happy to help. So I will drop my email maybe in the chat. Or
Eli, when you book Carnival, I have a huge favor to ask of you. Go to Pizzeria del Capitano or Pizza Pirate, depending on which ship you book. And I want you to tell us honestly your thoughts about Carnival's pizza versus Royals versus Sorrento's. Sorrento's?
Yeah, Sorrento's.
Sorrento's on Royal Caribbean. I really, I'm not going to tell you my opinion because I'm probably a little bit biased with all those trophies behind me. But I'm curious to get your thoughts on which pizza you like better.
Now, everything that we hear actually says that MSC has the best pizzas.
We need to get on an MSC ship. MSC, if you're watching, let us know.
Let us know. Although we will be sailing on Virgin in November, and my understanding is their pizzas are all made to order, and like you can make your own toppings and do all that stuff. So I'm kind of excited to check that out.
Here is something I was a little bit disappointed about with the Venezia. Is there weren't any new pizza varieties introduced. Right. I was really thinking on an Italian ship they would introduce like the Carnival Celebration. If you've sailed the Carnival Celebration or if you've watched any of our videos, you know we were Mardi Gras didn't introduce new pizzas.
I thought they did.
No. Carnival Celebration introduced 2 new styles of pizzas. If you've watched any of our content, you know we love those. Again, it's like Blue Iguana, Pomodoro Mex Italian. They introduced a couple of new items. We've sailed. This was my 47th. Yeah. This was my 40. This coming is my 48th, I think, right?
Sure.
We've sailed a few times and we've eaten the pizza a couple of times on board. Yeah. And so to have a couple of new options on the Celebration was amazing. We thought, hey, we're on an Italian style ship. We're going to have a couple of new pizzas. They were the standards. They were good, minus the fact that we provisioned in Europe. And the pepperonis they got were these like these pepperonis. Funny. I mean, they were just like you got a pepperoni on a piece of pizza. They weren't that good.
Yeah, no, that's kind of weird.
Good news. They should have the regular pepperonis once they provisioned in New York or when they provisioned in New York.
I would think so as well. Brandy heard that they have blocked off the gondola.
Beverly, it does.
Did I say Brandy?
Yeah, it does not surprise me. I predicted that they would block that gondola off.
Yeah. Just ask Ruth. Any activities for singles?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So my cruise buddy, love him. He's great, but he likes to go back to the room or up to Serenity to read.
That's not an activity for a single.
I was a single the whole cruise because he likes
to
go off and do his own thing. And so I was like, okay. Yeah. I went to trivias by myself. And you probably all don't know this about me, but I meet people wherever I go. And so I went to trivias. I got to make new friends. I joined a trivia team one day.
Oh, that's cool.
They have a variety of singles mixers on board. And so the very first night they had an LGBTQ plus mixer, which, by the way, Christine Duffy, the president of Carnival Cruise Lines, she made it a point. I know I've got a picture. She made it a point to stop by the meetups. She made it a point to interact with guests. We saw her right there. Yeah, there it is. We saw her every. That's not Christine Duffy.
The choice of being live.
Christine came out every single night she was on board. Took pictures, mixed, mingled, enjoyed some of the cocktails at Amari Bar. I mean, that was an unexpected surprise.
Super cool.
along with that huevos ranchero. That was an unexpected surprise on the to just mix and mingle with Christine Duffy, the president of Carnival Cruise Lines.
Yeah.
She was at brunch. She was at the bar. She was mixing and mingling with with people. So there are a variety of single meetups on board. I went to a bunch of them this time. So I don't normally go to all of them, but I was like, I'll check them out. I'll check out this. I'll check out that. The silent disco, you can go as a solo to the silent disco because everyone's listening to their own music.
Don't miss the silent disco. Like, honestly, if there's any advice that I'm going to give to someone is not to miss the silent disco unless there's only one DJ and they're only playing one channel.
Then it's weird. Then it's just
horrible.
Then it's
like,
just
why would you go?
Then it's just a disco. The silent disco was one of the most fun times that we had on board.
Was it in the Limelight Lounge or did they do it on the deck as well?
Great question. So they did it in Limelight Lounge. Okay. So unfortunately, Cooper couldn't join that first night, but we went with Gabby and Brady that first night and had a blast. Yeah. The problem with it being in Limelight Lounge, you got so hot and so sweaty and sticky. It was kind of gross. By the end, Mark Hugh, the cruise director, took everyone's headphones and wrapped them up his arm as he was collecting them. And those headphones were rank. I was like, Mark, I went up to him afterwards. I was like, what were you thinking? He's like, I Cloroxed my whole arm. I Cloroxed the heck out of that arm. So the silent disco is super fun. It was so popular on Carnival Venezia. Yeah. They added a second one.
Oh, that's good.
They added a second one up on Lido.
Good.
And I'll tell you that Lido deck was packed.
So I remember we did Alaska last July on the Splendor, and they did the deck, the silent disco on the deck. Up on the Lido, and that was so much fun.
It was much better. So I think they learned. I think they definitely learned from one. It had to be 18 plus when it was in Limelight because Limelight's a bar.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it had to be 18 plus. So you excluded a whole bunch of folks from the cruise. Yeah. So they moved it up to Lido for the second time, and it was packed. It was so much fun. And by the way, I went back to my room to grab something, and my headphones worked all the way back to my room.
Oh my gosh, that's so
all the way
cool.
Back to the stateroom. Once I went into the stateroom and closed the door, they disconnected.
When it was on the Lido? Or?
Yeah, on the Lido. Yep, on the Lido.
That's so cool.
And we were on deck 8, so going down several decks, going forward of the ship. Yeah, it was. I was like, oh, this is cool.
That's cool.
So lots of options for singles on board.
Yeah. Brandy, now I got the name right. You're going on the Journeys cruise on this ship in November. It's your first Journeys cruise. Oh, it's a 12-day. Mark, what makes a Journeys cruise so fun and so unique?
Unique ports, absolutely cool and unique ports. They bring on additional entertainment. So Michael Kent was on our Journeys cruise. I know I have a picture of him somewhere out here. Michael Kent, a magician, comedian. He's been on Penn and Teller, Fool Us. So like amazing talent that they bring on board to the ships. If you ever get a chance to see Michael Kent perform, definitely do it. Because it was amazing. I think it was in the pictures with
the shared picture.
Yeah, the shared picture with Mark Hugh. Or right.
This one?
No, next one.
Next one back.
I think it's Michael Kent, upper right hand corner. Great. He was amazing, and he made it a point to interact and mingle. Yes, Caroline Picard, our favorite comedian, was on board.
Love Caroline.
Is it hot in here? Feel my neck. Is it hot in here?
Is amazing.
Caroline Picard, if you are watching this, oh my gosh, I would die. Yeah. I would amazing. But Michael Kent, they bring on unique entertainers. They bring on singers. We had a singer on board. Yeah. They add playlist shows. So they add a couple of additional shows. Sometimes they'll put on their own show. They give the playlist cast the ability to put on their own show.
That's cool.
They have a speaker on board, an educational speaker. So you could go to workshops to learn about photography. Mm-hmm. You could go to workshops to learn about the constellations or the sky stuff.
Yeah, that's the constellations.
And so they bring on additional folks on those sailings to give it so in addition to the cool ports, they bring on additional entertainment as well.
That's really cool.
Yep.
So check out your fun hub when you are on the ship.
Brandy, I'm so excited.
And have so much fun. That's going to be awesome. Beverly, can you get the Chinese food on embarkation day? What other places are there to eat and not just
great question. We didn't learn about the Chinese food until about 3 or 4 days in. And so when we saw someone literally walking around with Chinese food and we're like, where'd you get that? They're like, oh, the seafood shack. And I was like,
weird.
Okay, sure. You got that at the seafood. Oops. On embarkation day, the very first place that I went was Tomodoro Mix Italian. I was the first person in line first person getting food at Tomador Mex Italian. We tried all 3 of the new things. Guy's Burger, there was no line. Now here's my tip. Here's a cruise tip for you. We should have a cruise tip alert.
That'd be cool.
Here's a cruise tip for you is get to the terminal early. Get to the terminal at 10 or 11, whatever your boarding time is, and try to get on the ship as early as you can, because you've got the ship is your oyster at that point. And so Tomodoro, Guy's Burger, I don't know if the Asian spot was open on embarkation day. I'm sorry, but we didn't discover it. So you already know about things ahead of time. And now what is not guaranteed is the midnight buffet, and some of those additional spots that they added are not guaranteed for every sailing. So check your fun times. Although the Asian buffet was never in the fun times. All 15 days, never once did they tell you. You had to be in the know.
Yep. It's like a little speakeasy without it being behind a closed door.
Yep.
How fun. Vince said, party time. Absolutely. Raymond, yes. 7-1 on the Panorama. Are you going to be there?
Oh, hey, Raymond. Hopefully we'll see you on the Panorama.
Hello. We'll see you there. Beverly, your birthday cruise too. Oh, that's so exciting.
Happy birthday. Speaking of birthdays. Look at this. We've got a little birthday present. If you're okay with us, if you're okay with Rocky opening a birthday present, he literally has no idea what this is.
I don't.
I wanted to do this live to surprise him, so he's gonna open a little.
So I was thinking, based on the bag, it was gonna be wine or something. It's very light. So if it's wine, I'm not sure. It's probably like one of those little samplers.
We'll see if he likes it. We'll see if you like it. We'll see if you think I did a good job for Rocky's birthday coming up.
Oh, we got a shirt. Oh, fun Italian style Venezia. How cool is that?
I loved the color. I loved the design. There were several crew members that were actually wearing it as well. Awesome. We can be Venezia fun Italian style twins. I'm super excited.
That is so cool.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So much.
Happy birthday. And happy early birthday to you, Beverly. Happy early birthday.
Thank you. That's so awesome.
You're very welcome.
Just Ask Ruth, thank you for joining us. You're sailing September 29th out of New York. It's a 15-day. The Venezia is going to be like the queen of all journeys.
I'm jealous. I kind of want to get on that ship with Just Ask Ruth. Can we? Probably not. Work. Okay.
We got to figure that out. Let's stop working.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Cooper.
Hey, Cooper Campbell. The salad on the buffet was not.
Was it wilted?
It was kind of wet. It was not great. And unfortunately, unlike her sister, so this is a Vista class ship. So the Carnival Venezia is a sister to Carnival Vista,
Panorama Horizon.
Carnival Horizon.
Okay.
Panorama. Yep. All of those ships. I was trying to think of the salad bar place, Fresh Creations. All of those places have a dedicated salad bar on sea days.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I totally forgot to mention it. I don't remember who asked the question about embarkation food. Deck 5 outside.
Yes.
Why can't
La Strada Grill? We have a video on that.
La Strada Grill is a brand new venue on the ship. It's Deck 5 outside. After the ship on starboard, has Italian street food. One of my favorite places on this entire ship. I love La Strada Grill. Go watch the video. But the salad was not great, and they don't have Fresh Creations. So they removed Fresh Creations from this. They didn't put that in the Asian market. And so I am bummed, because that's one of our favorite places on Vista, Horizon, and Panorama.
So excited for that next week.
But the buffet salad was not great.
Kaimulina, new to our channel. Welcome. So happy to have you. It looks like you're going to be on the Venezia on September 23rd through 29th. It is your first Carnival cruise. How exciting!
I'm so excited. If you have questions, there's a bunch of videos, but if you do have questions and you want to chat, drop us a note. Seriously, our website has all of our contact information.
Yep. And
we love that.
Yeah, we've got all of our social channels there on the right-hand side of the screen. So please feel free to hit us up. We are happy to answer questions. We're happy to celebrate your first time on a Carnival ship. Beverly said that her dress matches the feathered mask. How fun is that?
Okay. I had a black suit, and so my mask.
Oh, that's cool.
Match.
Yeah.
My mask matched as well. Yeah.
Cruising is fun anytime. Hey, how's it going? Good afternoon to you. It is morning here, but good afternoon to you where you're located.
Wherever you are in the world, or good evening. If it's evening where you are, if you're joining us from Barcelona, good evening. Late evening. It would be. Yeah.
Little lady, I definitely will send pictures. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you both. If I don't get a chance to say this, thank you so much, little lady. I appreciate you.
Happy birthday.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm looking so much forward to it. I'm really excited.
I loved Cooper's comment. The
I saw
camels,
that.
that's us.
Yeah,
That's
I saw that.
us.
Oh, you want me to put that up?
No, we're
Okay,
good. But
there we
like,
go.
yeah,
Okay,
I just wanted to shout him out.
Cruising is fun anytime. Hates bad pasta. Yeah.
I was so disappointed. Again, the pasta in Il Viaggio better. The main dining room. There was one pasta that was the best, and it was the Mexican pasta. So it had it had peppers, and it had like almost a taco seasoning-ish with penne pasta. Oh gosh, I could eat that right now. Actually,
Well,
that was good. I can't.
Let's see here. Beverly is going there for your birthday. How cool!
Birthday dinner, yelling.
Yeah. So for my birthday dinner, just not that you asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
We are going to Asian, just not teppanyaki.
Yeah, we're going to do Gigi's Asian Kitchen on board the Panorama. I'm so excited.
Yep.
We did that for Mark's birthday actually on the Horizon, and I loved it so much that I'm like, we're doing this.
Birthday twins.
We've got 10 of our favorite friends joining us for that cruise next week, and really excited for that.
Teppanyaki, Beverly, to answer your question, how about the teppanyaki? We didn't get a chance to eat there, but I'll tell you, it was not busy, which is different from most Carnival ships. Now, part of that is it's 15 days. The other cool thing is it's actually a bigger space. Yeah. So on the Asian market, for the Asian market, they made additional tables. So it's a bigger space. And there were reservations available every single day, unlike every other ship that we travel on. Yeah. So several friends went to it one night, several friends that we met at one of the singles mixers, and they said it was super good. I mean, it was your kitschy teppanyaki where they're throwing the egg in the air and they're chopping everything there in front of you. Standard teppanyaki, but if you get a chance, let us know how it is.
Cool. Brandy, you're sailing on the MSC.
She's going to let us know.
I'm excited to find out how that pizza is. We love our good pizzas.
We love a good pizza. Yep.
And Brandy, what is this about you becoming a vlogger? How exciting. We'll have to do some collabs.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And follow.
Because
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. You'll get used to saying that. You are always on our live events. So yes, we will absolutely want to do at least a couple of shared live events. Eli, you're doing the silent as you should. Beverly wants to know.
They have headphones for silent disco. So you go in, you have to give them your folio number so that you can't take them home. And they tell you right up front, if you take your headphones home, that's $100 charge. So please, please, please. And plus, you don't want other people's headphones. I did watch. I literally watched after because I'm kind of a... Cooper knows this. He asked me, he's like, are you a germaphobe? Oh, they literally wipe every set down with Clorox wipes or some sort of wipes after. So good news. Don't worry about that. They are definitely cleaned after each time, but they have headphones for you. With the number of people doing silent disco, I thought for sure they would run out, and they didn't. I was shocked they didn't run out.
That's so amazing. I don't know how they do that.
So a couple of other things that I want to make sure that we get to before our time is up. Things that we loved the new Serenity. You've heard me talk about Serenity a lot. You've seen, if you follow us on Insta or Twitter or anything like that, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was always busy, but the new design was beautiful. We loved the new spaces. We loved Amari Bar. The one thing that I didn't love about Amari Bar, so when I think about loved and didn't love, they've redone the acoustics in that area. It's all hard edges, and so it's loud. You know how at Alchemy you could hang out and you could have good conversations. Yeah. You had to really kind of not shout, but you had to be loud. That's but the design throughout the ship, there's been a lot about that out there. The greenery, the topiaries, the plants, love it. I don't think it's gonna last. I love my Carnival cruisers. I love Carnival, but I think the first time someone pees in one of those bushes, that's going to be. I was not
expecting you to go there.
The drinks package, you've had 15, you hit your limit, and I just don't think those trees and topiaries are going to last. Yeah. We'll see. I hope they do because it's a beautiful, beautiful addition to the ship. Yeah. We didn't also love that in the atrium, you always smelled the smoke from the casino. We went into the fun shop one night or one day, and Cheryl, if you ever get a chance to watch this or see us, thank you. You were absolutely amazing. She helped us buy way too much Venezia stuff. We loved her. I actually had to check a second bag coming home. I never have to check 2 bags, but we bought so much stuff this trip. The fun shop, we went in there one night and we're like, have you been smoking? She's like, no,
That's
that comes
bad.
in from the casino. So
Wow.
we didn't love that part of
Yeah.
it. Jason really is sensitive to smoke.
So are you.
I am too. I am as well. But so that we didn't love that.
Yeah.
But we did love the secret spaces, which I've already talked about.
Yeah. Awesome. Raymond, you'll most likely run into us. You booked the Mexican Riviera a few weeks ago to escape work and the Arizona heat. How?
You're gonna get other heat. You're gonna get other
yeah.
heat. You're gonna get humidity. But please do say hello.
Yes, we want to see you.
Honestly, on the Venezia, that was one of the coolest parts of the trip.
Yeah.
I know that Dominic mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
But I had several dozen folks come up to me and just say hello. It was such an amazing. It was just amazing. I love the cruise community.
Yes. Let's see here. And then we've got Miss Jody Elizabeth. So glad that she could chat. She joined us from Liverpool, Great Britain.
Wow. I will tell you, thank you for joining from all over the world. That's why I said good evening, depending on where you are. I will tell you, one of the coolest things about the Venezia and the Inagro, one of the absolute coolest things, outside of experiencing a ship for the first time, a brand new ship, seeing the ribbon cutting, I have goosebumps again. Getting to see Christine Duffy, John Heald, hearing from John Heald. He thanked all of the cruisers for the love and support that they've given him with the loss of his mother.
Yeah.
It was an emotional morning for me with how much cruising means to us and how much that we've loved this journey. It was emotional. I'm not going to lie. Getting to see the ribbon cutting, getting to see the kind of the exchanging of plaques and the dedication
because it
of the
was
ship.
the first time that Carnival Venezia was in Barcelona, so they gave a plaque for the ship.
Captain
Claudio Capusti.
I have a picture of him somewhere in here, but so that was an unexpected surprise. And then I'll talk about the weather, and then I think that's all of the things that I wanted to make sure that I hit on. But Claudio and Christine were about the ship all the time, which was super cool. I mean, there's Jason and I in front of that Costa Funnel. That comes up a lot. We've gotten that question a lot about the Costa Funnel. Does it feel weird? Does it feel like you're not on a Carnival ship? It's weird not having the whale tail, but does it feel like we're not on it still feels, there she is. Can you actually minimize us?
Of course.
It still feels just like a Carnival ship. I'm going to be real honest with you. Outside of the design elements, it doesn't feel like a Carnival ship, but it does feel like a Carnival ship.
That brings clarity.
Here's what I'm going to explain. When you get to go see Epic Rock, you're on a Carnival ship.
Yes.
When you go to trivia with the Fun Squad and they're asking you about slogans trivia, you feel like you're on a fun ship.
Yeah.
When you're drinking a sangria swirl, you feel, when you're on Serenity, when you're experiencing the main dining room, you feel like you are on a Carnival ship. There's no doubt. The Lido is different. There have been mixed reviews on Lido. We loved the Lido, but I will tell you, there's not as much space to lay out on that Lido.
Right.
The reality is though they have put in chairs in places where they haven't had before. This is unique. Here's something that's unique to Venezia. I haven't even told this one. There is no DJ in Lido. No DJ.
Wow.
There's no
dance.
They have their
the
steel drums. Thank you. They have the steel drums in Lido, but there is no DJ. That DJ is aft at the aft pool. They've blocked off an area where there would normally be lounge chairs, and they've set up the DJ back there. So all of the deck party, deck music, all of that stuff, sail away, happens on deck 10 aft at that aft pool.
So that's why when we saw all of the dedication stuff on the ship, everything was Christine at aft deck 10. That makes so much sense.
Yes.
Interesting. So is the pool area forward on deck 10, is that more of a quiet
It is a much
space?
quieter space. It's kind of like the solarium or kind of
you hear that, little lady? That's some more tips.
It's a quieter space that forward. They have the morning show. They do that on the screen. There's movies there. They still do those sorts of things. So it's not it's not always quiet, but it was definitely quieter than your typical center Lido on a Carnival ship.
How cool. Mary Ann Piccirilli said, "You are so fun to watch live. So happy y'all love Carnival like the hubby and myself." Yeah, we do. We really do enjoy ourselves a good carnival cruise. Not gonna lie about that. And Miss Jody Elizabeth came back and said that she's going on the Venezia on the 29th of September for a 15-day cruise. I think we have a couple of people on our watch right now that are actually going to be on that cruise.
I want to go.
If you got any to see shows, let's talk about those shows.
If you got to see any shows? If I got to see any shows, yes, we saw them all. We saw them all.
Well, but let's talk about this because there's a new show that just came out on the Carnival Celebration that made its debut on the Venezia.
Yeah, it absolutely did. So we got to see all of the shows. Because you're on a 15-day cruise, you're going to actually have additional entertainment on board as well. You're going to have comedians, you're going to have singers. Even if they're not your jam, go to them. It was so fun. It's just fun to go to the theater and just kind of get away from not the crowds, because the theaters were packed on the longer sailings. The people that you're on longer sailings, typically you have a higher number of priority guests. And for some reason, us priority guests, we love going to everything.
Yeah.
So the theater was always busy. I'll talk about the lines. Remind me to talk about the lines. The theater, we got to see every show. Epic Rock is epic. It's one of our all-time favorite carnival shows.
Yep.
Love Epic Rock.
Yep.
Color My World, what Rocky was mentioning, is brand new. Color My World is always better the second time. I love it, Cooper. Color My World actually worked the second time. So the first, the first time some of the props and effects didn't work in Color My World, it was the very first ever showtime of Color My World. I can say that. I got to see the very first ever showtime of Color My World on Carnival Venezia. We got to see it with the Campbells, which was awesome. And some of the things didn't work, but that's okay. I highly recommend. Color My World is the show that was introduced on the celebration. It features, what does it feature that makes it super unique?
A live painting on stage.
So cool. The cast paints on a giant canvas that's on the floor. There's a ceiling camera. There's a ceiling camera that captures the entire dance movement, the painting, the music's awesome. Oh, we've got if you want to see Color My World, we've got a whole YouTube video literally about Color My World. We recorded it in 4K, front row, center. And we actually recorded, there's 4 different angles captured in the show because we saw it 4 different times on the celebration across the multiple weeks we were on board. So Color My World was great. What else was on board? Broadway Beats was,
and one of my other all-time favorites, Vintage Pop.
Broadway Beats was a show. They didn't know the lyrics fully yet. And so the lead here's what I will tell you. I was so impressed with the lead's theatrical talent. Mark, good job, Mark. He screwed up the words. And so he just started making his own words that rhymed, finding appropriate words that rhymed. So the majority of the audience, I'm sure, was just like, oh, that was a great show. But I mean, there were a couple of oopses in Broadway Beats. It's an okay show. It's not one of my highest ones. Literally the entire set prop is a ladder that they move around the entire time. It's okay. Vintage Pop, it is different. So the Vista class has Liquid Lounge, or it was designed for Liquid Lounge, where the nightclub could be in the theater. That failed miserably. Carnival did away with that concept, and they moved Liquid Lounge back to Liquid Lounge and the bar. Limelight. That's why in Limelight, when it becomes the nightclub, you see them carting in a mobile bar. They never built a bar in Limelight because it wasn't designed to be the nightclub. On the Vista class of ship, the nightclub was designed to be in Liquid Lounge in the theater.
I wonder if they'll start fixing that on dry docks, because the Vista should be the first one to go to. Well, Panorama actually gets their first dry dock here in next year. We'll
see if they fix that. I don't think we'll see. Anyway, the ship is the Costa version of the ship, the Costa Venezia. They still have the dance floor. They have the dance floor, but they actually have permanent seatings on both sides of the dance floor versus the Carnival Vista class. Those seats are all removable. So they used to remove all of those chairs every night, and they would have the dance club in there. Well, that was a miserable failure because the rooms above that didn't like it. And it did not go well for Carnival. So they scrapped that idea. And what's not unfortunate, but with the Carnival Venezia, because there are permanent seats in there, they can't have the on the floor setup that they have on Vista, Horizon, and Panorama.
I gotcha.
So all of the activity happens on stage. So Rocky mentioned one of his favorite shows is Vintage Pop. Normally they come down, they interact with you. You've got little tables set up. You're in the show. All of the show happens on stage. But what's cool, and this is the saving grace of why I'm still absolutely okay with it, is they interact with the band the whole show.
Fun.
They get to interact, they get to dance with the band members. Like, it's so much more interactive up on stage. I absolutely loved what they did to adjust the show for that stage.
Yeah. And Miss Jody Elizabeth thanks us for answering her question. Very excited. Yeah, I know. Don't miss vintage pop, though. I am gonna say it. You didn't call it out. I know.
She says she loves them. She's gonna get them. Yeah. She's gonna go to all of them. She's gonna go. I'm certain. Cannot wait for Color My World and Broadway Beats. She's gonna go to all of them.
Yeah. Well, don't miss vintage pop.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Okay. Don't miss vintage pop.
I don't know, Mark, if you saw this comment that I'm going to pull up on the screen, but we have someone that joined us that's going to be on our cruise with us this week. Next coming up.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, Spread Good Squad!
Spread Good Squad. Hey, YouTube, if you don't follow Spread Good Squad, we met Spread Good Squad. We met the CEO of Spread Good Squad, the founder, on one of our cruises, and he founded Spread Good Squad because his neighbor was diagnosed with cancer, and he wanted to make a difference. And they give kids dreams. They give kids, and they find ways to meet their dreams. And so we've been to several of their events. This cruise life, we are proud to be donors to Spread Good Squad. Just amazing work that they do. We can't wait. I got goosebumps again. I get goosebumps easily if you can't tell. Maybe I should put on this winter coat, this inaugural Carnival Venezia coat. Super excited for our time on Panorama.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, it's a cruise life. Good evening to you.
It is a cruise life. It's a wonderful cruise life.
And then also Miss Jody Elizabeth wanted to thank us about La Strada Grill.
I'm super hungry. We're gonna have to eat after this.
I know. It's lunchtime here.
Huge theater fan. Us too. We are huge theater fans. We never miss a show. The one thing that I did want to mention, and we're an hour in, so I promise let's wrap it up. But the lines. So the biggest things, the three biggest things you're gonna see people complain about, and there have been a lot of negative reviews on the ship. We've seen them. We're aware of those. But here's what I will tell you. The first one, the main dining room. We've already talked about how you can avoid that issue. Don't book anytime dining. Again, I truly believe in 3 months, they're going to fix it. They're going to get it right. But we highly recommend booking a dedicated dining time, whether that's early or late dining. That's going to help you avoid that.
And great news, if your cruise hasn't happened yet, like if you're not on the ship tomorrow, you still have time. You can go into your cruise manager on Carnival's website, log into your portal, and you can actually change what dining preferences you have. So if
or get on a wait list. So if it's full, you can get on a wait list. And if your cruise is tomorrow, you can talk to the maitre d' day one. Again, those dining rooms are big. If they tell you, hey, we'll have to check, we'll have to look, which is what they told us. They're like, well, we'll have to check, we'll have to look, because they have to figure out who's sitting where, and they have to make sure that there's a table. The very next day we had the new table. So trust us. At least for the foreseeable future, we recommend that. So that's one, the dining room. That was a big complaint. Lido was has been another big complaint. The center Lido that with the Magradome, that enclosed roof, it's not as big. And the parties are not happening there. So if you go there for the party and you're like, well, this is boring, head to the after the ship where the DJ is, head to the after the ship where the music is, get your dance on. There's hot tubs, there's a pool back there. You know, it's going to be fun. But yes, it's not going to be your standard Carnival ship. If you get on being like, okay, I'm going to have this giant center space and I'm going to have like Red Frog Pub and Blue Iguanas tequila bar. It's not going to have some of those staples. It's not going to.
You do have the Rococo bar.
You have the Rococo bar. You've got Java Blue, which also has boozy drinks. You still have venues up there, but it's not your standard Carnival ship. No. That's why we booked it. That's why we were so excited for this ship, is to experience fun Italian style. That's why Carnival. That's why they kept the Costa Funnel to make sure people realize this isn't your standard Carnival ship. It's why they do the fun Italian style. It's why they have. The crew uniforms are unique. They walk around with Festa Italia uniforms on some days. Like it's a very unique ship. That's why we were so excited about it. We are on the inaugural for the Firenze, her sister ship. I will be super curious to see what changes they make between the ship.
As that's what Dana actually asked that question, if they're going to make any changes to the Firenze before they come. Before she comes out.
Perfect. I didn't even see that question.
Yeah, no, it just came through.
I will be curious to see what changes they make. Here's number 2, the lines. There are lines. There were lines for the theater shows. There were lines for the comedy. I will tell you, yes, we don't mind. I mean, you've heard us say this
cruise
before.
ship, we're on vacation.
We're on a cruise ship, we're on vacation.
No rush.
You know, we don't mind waiting 15, 20 minutes for a show to open. So we'll get there. So the theater shows, they all advertise doors open at showtime starts.
Yep.
We get there before doors open. So it's usually 15 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on the sailing.
Right.
We get there and we always have a center seat.
Yeah.
You know,
main level, the
main level. We always have a center seat. You know, the first row is usually blocked off on the Venezia. The first row is usually blocked off for VIPs.
Yeah.
Those are the folks that, you know, volunteer the first night in the Welcome Aboard show, and they get up on stage and they shake their tail and they do all that stuff. Those are safe for VIPs. There are the edges of the theater, the edges of Teatro Rosso are reserved for handicap accessible.
Okay.
So that was really a neat touch. I like that. Yeah. And so, but we got there for doors open, and we always had a center section, row 2, row 3.
Nice.
One night, the Campbells went ahead for Color My World. We got a front row seat because they were there for when doors open. So thank you. So we don't mind it because we have fun. We do crosswords, we do trivia, we do heads up, we do a variety of things while we wait in line. And we're used to, like Broadway or going to the theater here, we're used to going early anyway. So that isn't a huge deal breaker for us. Where it would be a deal breaker, here's where it would be a deal breaker, is if I waited in that line and I didn't get a good seat, or I got turned away, or standing room only. The comedy club, that line goes all the way back into the casino. We were at the end of the line, and we were still on the main floor of the comedy club for Caroline Picard. We still had great seats for Caroline Picard. So it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to wait in lines. I literally, that's not like what I'm looking forward to.
No.
But we also know going to some of those live entertainment venues, there's likely going to be lines. Here's my feedback to Carnival Cruise Line. So Christine, if you're still watching, moving more of the comedy into the main theater. When they moved Caroline Picard into the main theater that last night, the theater was packed.
Yes.
The theater holds way more people than Limelight Lounge does. And so Carnival knows that the comedy is so popular. It's one of the biggest complaints that people say is the lines and getting into the theater or getting into the actual show. Move more of those into the main theater because you can serve more people. We don't, here's a fun fact, we don't even bother with comedy on Mardi Gras or Carnival Celebration because that lounge, the Punchliner Lounge, is so small. The lines start queuing up an hour before the shows. An hour before the shows. We don't even bother seeing comedy on that ship until they move it into the main theater because they'll do it in the main theater. Some nights we go there, then we see it. Venezia is much larger than has a much larger space than Mardi Gras and Celebration. So you will get in. If you get there before doors open, you'll get in. You'll get a good seat. But I get it. It's a line. It's frustrating. And then the last thing, and we've seen this for years on Carnival, and we've given this feedback before as well. Guy's Burger, when you get on the ship from port and it's like 3 p.m. and you get back on the ship, Tomadora is closed. The buffet isn't open. And so what's open on the ship is Guy's Burger, not Il Viaggio, the street food. La Strada Grill isn't open. La Strada Grill is only open on sea days. So all that's open is Guy's Burger, pizza, and the deli. So you bring on 4,000 people onto the ship at the same time because not at the same time, but as people get back on from port, they're hungry. They've been in port all day, and the lines. So we've seen it. We've seen the pictures. You've probably seen the TikToks. The line for Guy's Burger is 30, 45 minutes. That's true on every ship. That is not a Venezia problem. That is now. There might be a little bit of a 10 seconds extra for each burger as they're getting the swing of things as the crew is learning. So there may be a little bit like it might add 5 minutes to that hour-long wait. But I'll tell you, it's not a Venezia problem. And so for the folks who are posting and are like, I can't believe this Venezia, honestly, we've experienced that the entire fleet wide, and it's feedback that we've shared before. That's the lines. Those are some of the things that we've seen negativity: the dining room, the lines, and then Lido. So I talked about the 3 things that we've seen really negative comments about.
Okay. Marianne said that she has had pizza on the MSC. Meraviglia was great. It's the only non-Carnival cruise, but They miss their good old Carnival.
Now, have you had Pizza Pirate? Like, do you like Pizza Pirate
Pizza
versus
Pirate.
Cucina del Capitano? That's a
You
debate.
can't even find
That's a
Pizza
debate
Pirate
in this
anymore.
household. So MSC, that is one of the lines that we're going to get on.
Sometime.
I feel like I've been on MSC now. That I've been on Fun Italian Style.
Oh, that's fair.
MSC
Yeah,
is an
yeah.
Italian.
Yeah. That's fair. I got it.
Okay. Two totally different lines.
Yeah. Dana said that she's going to be watching us closely. We are on the inaugural. We're on the inaugural stepchild or
Inaugural junior, as I like to call it.
Oh, yeah,
We're on
yeah,
the
yeah,
second
inaugural
sailing.
junior.
I'm trying to get him to book the third sailing as well, because that's when it sounds like they're going to do the ribbon cutting. We'll see. But you're going to be on it in November of 2024.
Yep.
We'll let you know how much they've changed, what they've learned, what they've tweaked. I do truly believe that they will make some adjustments to Il Viaggio. I think they already made adjustments from the time they announced it a week prior to sailing to the actual sailing. They changed. So the pizza, for anyone that saw the original menus, oh my gosh, the pizza for two. So each of you pay $42, and then you get a pizza that's shared, and that was an upcharge on top of the $84 you've already paid.
No.
What? They cut that upcharge. So the pizza for two is included in your $84. They added a charcuterie board that was an upcharge. I think they're going to play with that menu. I think they're going to play with that pricing. I absolutely do, because it was okay. The other thing that was a little bit annoying with Il Viaggio, and this is just a nit. I'm not complaining. We didn't even call it out in the review. That's how little of an impact it had. But she asked us, she's like, "Oh, do you want sparkling water or do you want regular water?" We're like, "We'll just have regular water." And she's like, "Okay." So they bring us water. We get at the end of the cruise. They didn't. So I paid for Il Viaggio. I paid the tip. I got a drink.
Yeah.
And they charged my account, and so it was $30 with the tip, with gratuity, with the drink.
Sure.
And at the end of the cruise, Jason looked at his folio and had a $6.40 charge for water at Il Viaggio. They charged us $6.40 for, and we didn't know, he hadn't looked at his folio. We hadn't looked at our folios until the very last day, which is never wise. But he looks and he's like, they charged us $6.40 for still water. Again,
that's not cool though.
We didn't complain. In fact, this is probably the only time I'll ever talk about that, by the way. But it was just a little thing about Il Viaggio that was annoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Anything else?
Nothing
Any other
else.
questions? Anything else that I missed? Can you pull up the pictures quick? I think there was one other picture that I didn't hit on that I did want to share with the stream, and it was the. Just click on two.
Okay. I'll pull it into the stream.
Thank you. Oh, there we are.
Go.
There it is.
There it is.
So I mentioned Elder in the main dining room. So Elder is in the upper left-hand corner. Highly recommend it. Michael Kent, if you ever get a chance on Italian Festival, thank you, Cooper, for making it. Yes, that was one of the things we didn't love. I'll mention that here in a minute. Michael Kent, if you ever get a chance, Caroline Picard, if she is on your cruise, on my behalf, on behalf of Mark, on behalf of this cruise life, on behalf of Rocky, go see Caroline Picard. She's a foul-mouthed 71-year-old, but we love her. We love her.
Don't bring kids to the rated R shows.
I mean, up to you. Parents, you make your own decisions.
Yeah,
next slide, if you could just kind of... So upper left-hand corner, Coco from the Fun Squad. The Fun Squad on this ship is amazing. They made sure... That's how we felt like we were on a Carnival ship.
Yeah.
I mentioned Mark Q. You mentioned Mark Q, the cruise director in the upper right-hand corner. He's mixed in with us Campbells. But he is the one wearing the microphone. That's the cruise director, Mark Hugh. We've sailed with him many times, and in glasses. He's always wearing funky glasses.
Yes.
And then on the bottom of the screen, Reggie, the live performer, the soloist.
She's amazing.
On board.
She's a guitarist.
She's a soloist guitarist. If you sail here soon, or if you sail and Reggie's still on, please tell her Mark and Rocky say hello. We love her to pieces. She actually dropped her welcome to Venezia sign when I boarded, dropped it, came up, gave me the biggest hug and said, "Mark, it's so great to see you again."
That's awesome.
Just goosebumps.
That's
literally
awesome.
goosebumps.
That's awesome.
Mark Hugh was great. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's just an amazing cruise director. He brings the fun. He's not overbearing with his announcements, which is what I love. And ciao. But hey, it's only for now.
Bye, guys.
I want to mention this because I did a TikTok that kind of got 30,000+ views, and people are like, was this what the sailing was like the whole time? No, this was not what the sailing was like the whole time, but it was one of the coolest experiences across 47 cruises I've ever had. You couldn't see the funnel. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
There is no filters on this picture. You couldn't see from the water slides at the front of the ship. You couldn't see the midship where the funnel was. I mean, you can make it out kind of there. You couldn't see the front of the ship. The front of the ship disappeared, literally disappeared. Once you got to about midship, you could no longer see the front of the ship. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And because the visibility was so low, every 2 minutes, and it didn't matter if it was daytime or the middle of the night, every 2 minutes, the captain would blow the horn of the vessel to alert other ships in the vicinity that we were out there. Venezia was there. Venezia was traveling. It was so cool.
Yeah.
My travel companion, Jason, gave me some flack because I have probably about 40 videos of that horn blowing every every time the horn would blow, I'd be like, oh, I gotta record this. He'd be like, how many of those do you need? So that was cool. But here's what I'll tell you. I put these in here. I put this slide and the next slide in here to tell you the weather was unbelievable. I expected for a transatlantic it to look like that previous picture the whole cruise. I expected it to be raining and cold. And it was raining and cold the last couple of days of the crossing, the Atlantic crossing. It was raining, it was cold. But this by far is what the weather was like the whole time. Look at that. Here we are in Malaga. I think that's Malaga on the left-hand side. And I I pulled in just a bunch of pictures because I wanted to share with you just how beautiful.
That's Gibraltar, isn't it?
No, that's not.
Right?
No, it's not. I think it's Lisbon on the
Oh,
right.
Lisbon. Okay.
And so they might both be Lisbon. I apologize. The weather was gorgeous. It was absolute. When we were in ports, we didn't have a single bad port day from a weather perspective. You go to the Caribbean and you might get rained out.
Yeah, but usually it's one and done.
Unbelievably beautiful weather. The first 2 days of the crossing we laid out on that previous slide where I was laying out on Serenity. That's Serenity, by the way. Does that look like Serenity? Look at the greenery behind me. Look at you see the Serenity towel, but the weather was absolutely gorgeous. Here is Christine at the ribbon cutting. And the insert, in the small insert, you see John Heald up there speaking. The ribbon cutting was super cool. We're going to post a video. I recorded the whole thing. So if you've never seen a cruise ribbon cutting, we're going to post a video about that. It was such a cool experience. You're going to get to see it for the first time too.
Yes.
Il Viaggio, we talked about that. Thank you for just clicking through. We talked about the dining room. Do late time or early time dining versus anytime. The artwork and it's so cool all around the ships. The chandeliers, Cooper would hide. Okay, Cooper and family, they had these magnetic ducks.
So cool.
They put magnets, they super glued magnets on the bottom of ducks and they would stick them up on ceilings. So if you're ever on a cruise with the Campbells, look around because there could be hidden ducks all over the ship. But they would hide these little ducks all over. There's these beautiful chandeliers that they'd hide little ducks in, which was super cool.
That's awesome.
The artwork on the walls, unbelievable, just absolutely gorgeous. I mentioned these tablets. We hated the tablets. They're piloting, they're testing the tablets on the ship.
And I just want to bring up this comment real quick that came through.
Long lines and app issues for reservations.
So this person was actually on the 15th. On the sailing. So it sounds like it's still getting resolved.
So I mentioned this in the very beginning of the video, but yes, here's my tip. If it says 10 minutes for the wait time, make sure that you're watching the app because it might be 10 minutes, but more likely it's going to be 40 minutes. And so just enjoy, make your way around, enjoy the ship in that time.
Yeah.
Again, Christine Duffy, the president of Carnival Cruise Lines, made it a point to interact with us everywhere she was, made it a point to stop at the bars. You can see her drinking there. The first night she enjoys Carnival Cruise Lines. She absolutely enjoys Carnival Cruise Lines. Here's something that I've not said on any social post. I've not said anywhere else, and I won't ever repeat this again.
Oh, this is
that's fine. That's fine. The handful of folks that actually see this video will know this. She went to the bar and had her sail and sign card out, and it's a platinum card. It is Christine Duffy, the president of Carnival Cruise Lines, has a platinum sail and sign card, which I just thought was really interesting.
That's awesome.
This was an unexpected surprise. Sitting on Lido deck, being able to enjoy Tomodoro Mexitalian. The red checkered clearly tells you it's an Italian restaurant, not Blue Iguana.
Right. Not
Blue Iguana, but they had the huevos rancheros, the arepas, the breakfast burritos. And what I'm super happy about was they had my habanero sauce. So they didn't have a salsa bar.
Oh.
They had a toppings bar.
Oh.
Because it's Italian. You don't have a salsa bar in Italy.
Yeah, that makes
you have a
sense.
toppings bar. The toppings were all the same as the salsa bar. They had the watermelon, the cheese, the sour cream, and my habanero salsa, which I absolutely love.
That's awesome. I just want to pull up a couple quick comments. Cooper said hiding ducks is an art form. And then Miss Jody Elizabeth commented saying that magnetic ducks is super creative.
Campbell family, you are epic. Yeah, it was super creative. We've never seen that in all of our cruises, magnets on ducks, and because you can hide them in really unique places.
Yes, for sure.
Captain Claudio. Capusti, thank you. Captain Claudio made it a point to interact with us on many days. He was out and about the ship. I don't know who drives the Venezia, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm autopilot. He was not out and about. So someone did Behind the Fun. So they brought back Behind the Fun where you can actually go into crew areas. You get to visit the bridge. Yep. You get to go into the galley. Yep. We're actually going to post a full galley video tour, chef's table, all of that. We're going to post that here soon. Yeah. But Behind the Fun, we highly recommend it. You have to book it first day, guest services. They can book Behind the Fun for you. It's about a 3.5 hour tour. There is walking. There are stairs. Just be aware of that for anyone that has mobility issues. But it is such a cool experience. And so Claudio, you get to meet with the captain. You get to meet the first officers and the mates and all the people with the stripes on their arm. It's just a cool experience. Because of the fog, they still ran Behind the Fun, but they canceled the part where you visited the bridge. Oh. When there is something that the crew has to be alert to, or there is a potential risk to passengers, they don't allow passengers up on the bridge. So makes sense. The folks that had booked Behind the Fun, they got 30% off of their Behind the Fun because they couldn't go to the bridge. Yeah. But typically, that's the only time I've ever heard of that. Yeah. Awesome. And then the weather, the Costa Funnel you saw, it was just, honestly, I've been on 47 of these now, y'all. An inaugural sailing, I highly recommend if you ever get the chance to do it. A transatlantic sailing, the port, getting to see Gibraltar. I can now say I've been to the Rock of Gibraltar. I didn't even know what the Rock of Gibraltar was before this cruise life. And so to be able to go to Gibraltar and Lisbon and to drink port wine in Portugal. Jason and I booked a port tasting in Portugal, and it was one of the coolest experiences that we did. To be able to visit Malaga, to go to the Azores. We went to a pineapple plantation. I got to see little baby pineapples growing on little trees or bushes. I don't know what they're called, in greenhouses. I got to taste pineapple rum. No, I didn't buy any. I was tempted. I almost got Rocky Pineapple rum for his birthday, but I knew that in Gibraltar I got way too much stuff, and I didn't have any room left. And so gin. We got a lot of gin. We actually listened to YouTube. We did a poll on YouTube, and we asked what we should taste at Spirit of the Rock. Not only did we taste at YouTube, but we bought it and brought it home so we can do a live tasting for you, because you told us what to try. Yep. We got those things that you voted on, and we're going to do it in the future.
That sounds like a plan. Dana said that her best friend added magnets to their ducks. Then she got pulled in security, died
on embarkation because they had to make sure they weren't fireworks. Oops. So the magnets must have triggered something where they were like, what is this in there? We want to make sure that those aren't fireworks. That's funny. So final thoughts in the last couple minutes here. Yeah. It is an epic ship. Yeah. It is an amazing voyage. Again, we are so excited to see Carnival Venezia grow and develop. Yeah. The crew is still learning. The crew will be learning for several months. It was true on the Celebration. We sailed the Celebration a month and a half, 2 months after. After her inaugural sailing, and it was true then as well. The crew was still learning. We talked to Lee, your cruise director. Hey, Lee, your cruise director. We talked to Lee, and he said, you know what? It takes a couple of months before, as the crew learns the ship, they learn the processes. Remember, this ship was designed for a completely different market, and we brought on Carnival staff to operate a ship that is a different ship. Things are laid out differently. It feels like a Vista ship. So if you've been on the Vista, you're going to feel like you can navigate around, but some of the crew areas are absolutely different. The restaurants are different. The food is different. They're piloting those handhelds. Those are different. So it's going to be a good 3-4 months, I think, of learning on this ship. So my hope is that as folks see some of the negative reviews out there, they realize one, it's a new ship. Two, there are going to be some hiccups. That would be the other thing I would say plan for, is there probably will be some hiccups. There will be things that don't go perfect. Again, we went into that knowing that we booked the inaugural, but even when we booked the celebration, we were within the first couple of months of the ship. We knew that there were going to be some hiccups, and there were on that ship as well. There will be on the Firenze. There will be on the Jubilee. We're booked on the inaugural of the Jubilee. There will be some hiccups. Just be aware of that if you are booked here in the coming couple of months. But overall, a beautiful ship, a beautiful crew. I'm super excited for her to have her inaugural season in New York City. I can't wait as folks truly get to appreciate the ship and the experience. I can't wait for those reviews. I mean, I truly believe that those reviews are going to turn, because people are going to get on the ship and they are going to be like, wow, this isn't like any other ship that we've seen.
Yeah. Kimberly English, November 20th. Excited.
Yep. You're very welcome, Kimberly. That's the one thing. We're always positive on the channel, but we're honest as well. We always want folks we never want someone to go to something or do something and be like, wait a minute, those guys, I can't believe anything that they say, because they said that Il Viaggio was the best food that they've ever had. It was good. Yeah. I was full. Yeah. Would I do it? Am I glad I did it? Absolutely. Would I go back? Maybe if Carnival was treating, sure. If the casino's treating, sure. Right. But we're always going to be honest and truthful, but always kind, because guess what? Life is too short. There's a lot of negativity out there, and that's just not something that you're going to see from Rocky and me. From this cruise life. Right. Yeah.
So thank you so much for tuning in. This guy could go on for hours, as you can tell. He's already talked my ear off with a bunch of things, but that's okay. I actually enjoy it as well. Anyway, so like we had said at the start of today's broadcast, we're looking at possibly adding a live event on Embarkation Day for the Panorama. That is next Saturday, the 1st of July. That is my birthday cruise. We'll be sailing with 10 of our closest friends, so we're really excited about that. Adam Russo, if you're watching, shout out to you. Thank you so much for the support of the channel. Adam, actually really cool. We didn't know even it was a thing, but Adam on live last time, 2 times ago, Adam used something called, I don't even know what it's called. He super liked the video. Nice. And so Adam, thank you so much for the support. And then the last thing I will say is, can I share something with this, there's only 19 of you on right now. So can I turn this hat around? I mean, it is already here on the screen as well. But yes,
the only person who has seen this, actually, Cooper. If Cooper is still on, he's the only person on Earth outside of Rocky and I that have seen this. But this is something that we're working on right now, and it is this cruise life. We're working on some T-shirts and some hats and we're learning. We worked with a designer for the logo, because we are not creative folks. But we've not shared this broadly, and we will eventually. I promise we'll share it more. But I figured, since there are only 19 of you left on this call,
now there's 21.
21. 21. Turn it back around. For Cooper, I in fact have seen that. So for the group of you that are on, I wanted to share that with you, because we are excited.
We are. So we're going to have a bunch of different products. We'll have hats. We'll have stickers. Yes, we're going to have some stickers made. We'll have T-shirts, hoodies.
I'm super excited for the hoodie.
We've got a pretty large brand that we're working on building out. So and we also have lanyards.
Oh yes, Rocky loves his lanyards. Thank you, Miss Jody. Thank you, Miss Jody Elizabeth. We're super excited. And again, it will likely be Rocky and I sporting this stuff for a bit still, because we're learning. We don't know how to do this stuff.
We're not going to put something bad quality on our. On our
that's the rule. Viewers. We have to wear it. We have to experience it before we are even going to put it out there. And so
just keep an eye out. We'll be adding it to our YouTube store. We'll be adding it to our other store venues that we have access to.
So I think it's going to be the 19 people, maybe 21. Yeah. The 19 people here, because I don't know that anyone's going to make it to the end on rewatching it. So those of you who are on still right now, you and Cooper was the first person to actually see it. You have early insight into some of the work that we're doing, and then we have a bunch of videos coming out today. What was tip 4 that's coming out today?
Tip 4 is Secret Spaces.
Secret Spaces on board lanyards. You can use it on any cruise. Oh my gosh, I'm going to share one last story and then we've got to end. We've got to
do,
end.
we
Otherwise,
really
we're going
do.
to just go all day. The last story I will share, we were at a Mari bar one night and we were enjoying some cocktails and people were chatting and it was loud and it was fun and we were having a blast. And Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Lines, comes up with her, martini and she's mixing and mingling. And she looks at this passenger and she literally grabs and rips off the lanyard and says, "You are on my ship." It was an MSC lanyard. She literally ripped the lanyard off this guy's chest and said, "This is not going to do." And the fun squad was right there, and he literally said, Coco said, "Christine, we'll get him a lanyard. Don't worry, we'll get him a lanyard." It was one of the funniest, coolest moments in the 2+ weeks that we were on board, to see Christine Duffy, president of the cruise line, see an MSC lanyard, rip it off and be like, "This won't do. This just an amazing moment, an amazing time for everyone who followed the journey, because a lot of y'all watched me on TikTok and Insta and YouTube Shorts. You saw our travel dramas. You saw the fun we had in Barcelona and just the experience. Honestly, thank you for your support. Thank you for the well wishes. When I test positive for COVID, I want a hat and hoodie. We do too. Thank you for the well wishes, all of the likes, all of the comments, all of the as Cooper always says, smash that notification bell. We love this. We love this cruise life. We love what we're doing. We love getting to share it with you. We have heard from folks who have literally said, "I booked this because I heard you guys talk about it," or "I'm doing this experience because I heard you say how much fun you had."
That's huge. Again, the goosebumps make their appearance.
It truly is. That's what we hope to do. That's when we started this cruise life. That's what we hope to do. We hope to inspire others to get excited about travel and vacations, and specifically cruising. Yeah. And so when folks tell us that they've booked something because they've heard from us, or they're going to do an experience, or they booked an excursion, or they're sailing with us again, it just absolutely, it's special.
And again, I'm pulling up our socials on the screen so you can see them. We really do. We love interacting with our viewers. Send us a message if you have any questions at all before you book. Absolutely. If you need help booking, send me a message. I can help you out. I can book that for you and get you some pretty good deals. So please let us know. We would absolutely love to help you out in any way, shape, or form that we can.
And I just dropped the website. I mean, it's an easy one, thiscruiselife.com. I dropped that into the chat because that is where we have a variety of resources. We have tools. But what I really wanted to call it is we have all of our upcoming sailings. Yeah. So if you're ever like, "Hey, gosh, where are the guys going to be?" We list all of our sailings, and we list the Carnival ones. We list the Virgin ones. We list that we're working on an NCL booking right now. We're working on some additional Carnival ones. We actually just researched last night. And so we list all of our sailings out there. If you happen to be on one of those sailings and you see us, please, please, please say hello.
Yes. Thank you, Cooper.
Put that chat up. Put that chat up so everyone knows what you're cheering. I tell you, Cooper Campbell, Team Jason, Team Rocky. I hope some of you out there are Team Mark as well. In all seriousness, thank you. In all seriousness, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining us for another hour and a half. I'm so sorry that was not the intent, but I love all of the questions and comments. And if you do, as Rocky said, if you have questions, if you're watching this and you have questions that aren't addressed here, put them in the comments below.
Put them in the comments. We'll
hit that like button, subscribe,
ring the notification bell.
Smash that notification bell, as Cooper would say. And we can't wait to Panorama.
We'll see you in a week.
We're going to do some shorts from Long Beach, and we'll do some shorts boarding the ship.
Well, we still have the rest of our week takeover from this.
Oh, yeah. By the way, there's still some stuff that we didn't tell you on here that we're going to be sharing this week on YouTube about the Venezia. Some additional secret spaces, the crew. There's just more stuff. There's more stuff coming about Venezia. And then next Friday, we fly to Long Beach to jump on the Carnival Panorama for this guy's birthday. Birthday celebration, Rocky's birthday cruise. Hey, on the Carnival Panorama. Oh, sorry. I was just throwing that in your face. Okay,
it's fine. I'm just joking.
Carnival Venezia. How many ships?
You're the one that was on it. I didn't get to sail it. So.
I literally would give the Carnival Venezia the entirety of the experience. The entirety of the experience, the ship, the ports, all of those sorts of things, I would absolutely give it 5 ships. There is no doubt in my mind. Yes, there were some hiccups.
Sure.
And yes, there are still some hiccups. They're still learning. Oh my gosh, Debarkation, the customs app, they're still learning some of that stuff. So there were some hiccups, but by far the food, the crew, the ship, those dark hallways, the artwork. I mean, I absolutely would give it 5 ships.
That's
and
awesome.
I would recommend it. If you were to be like, Mark, hey, if I were to check out something new, I've been on a bunch of cruises, or I'm gonna check out a cruise for the first time. I don't know that I would say do this as your first Carnival cruise personally. I would have probably other recommendations for your very first one, because it's not your typical Carnival cruise. But if you've gone on a couple Carnival cruises and you want to experience something new and different, I would absolutely recommend Carnival Venezia. 5 ships.
There you go. 5 ships. You heard it here first. And thank you, Miss Jody Elizabeth, for the birthday wishes. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun.
Awesome.
Everyone, have a marvelous, I like that. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Saturday, right?
It's Saturday.
The COVID brain. I'm still like, wait, which day of the week is it?
Right.
I'm not COVID anymore, but I still have a little bit of that squirreliness.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us on your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're located. And we will see you out there on the ship. We'll see you next Saturday on our live event. More details to come soon. Stay tuned to our channel and our socials.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, this cruise life. There it is.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.